Hello everybody and welcome into the RNGIDP channel and welcome into another Game Day 16 matchup. Here we will have the Chicago Cubs traveling to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco Giratina in a 2015 randomized NUS League matchup. This will be a KL matchup between the number 5 Chicago Cubs at 8-6 traveling to San Francisco and the 5-9 Giratina. This one should be a good one. I'm happy that you're here with me tonight. Looking forward to the game and looking forward to the live chat and everybody joining here. And all of you that are joining after the fact, don't forget about you, because you guys are awesome. And I appreciate you guys very much too. So I've been getting a lot of support lately, a lot of new faces in the live stream. If you're new and haven't said hi before, please make sure you do so. Leave me a comment here on the video. I would love to be able to chat with you like, who was it? The other day we had Chris Lamoth join in the live stream. He had just bought some Strat for the first time and was asking questions about results and cards. And that was really cool to be able to bring the game to somebody new, and that he stumbled upon my chat here to be able to do so. And he left a few comments, so feel free. You are welcome here, and I appreciate you being here. My name is Craig, if I didn't mention that already. If you're so inclined, if you are of the Twitter persuasion, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at RNGIDP_Strat. That is a good way to get a hold of me, as well as these comment sections. So this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. I enjoy the community, watching other people play as well. Tenacious Earl on the Tabletop Plus channel. I enjoy watching him roll a game. Al Red Sox fan is a computerized guy. He's not himself, but he rolls on the computer. Those are fun to watch. Baseball demos. There's so many people out there. Strat-O-Matic Delaware. I could sit here all night and name all the creators that I'm watching, but you know, our community has grown, and I feel like I'm a part of it, and that's because of all the people that have showed up here and supported the channel. So it's a long way to say, a blabbering way to say thank you, and I'm much appreciative of you being here. All right, so let's take a look at these teams tonight. The pitching matchup should be a good one. We've got Jordan Zimmerman against Shelby Miller. Let's take a look at Jordan Zimmerman for San Francisco. His numbers on the season. He's pitched in 17 innings. He only has a 0-1 record. He's given up 16 hits, 7 earned runs, with 15 strikeouts and 2 walks. Those are pretty decent numbers. The hits are a little high. That's a 1.06 whip, but the ERA is right around 3.71. Probably been a little unlucky in his starts to not get victory. This is a rematch of game day 1. San Francisco, they dropped this game 3-2 in Chicago, and this will be the second and final time that this team plays each other. In the schedule, I have a 30 game day schedule where each team plays each other twice in the league. There's no interleague, so you get home and away, once at home and once away versus every opponent in your league. And this will be the second time that San Francisco and Chicago have met. And this will be the Chicago lineup. It's going to be a little bit different for Chicago today. They are dealing with a couple of injuries, and they're trying to make do. So without Yasiel Puig and Josh Harrison, their starting right fielder and starting second baseman, they are going to lead off with Austin Jackson. Jackson's been a reserve player most of the season, but he's 4 for 10 in those appearances, so he gets the start today and will lead off. And he has a double and a home run in those 4 hits. Joe Mauer moves up to the 2 spot. The veteran, he's hitting .235 right now. He handles the bat well, though. He's got a pair of doubles and 3 homers. Kyle Seager moves up to 3rd, the shortstop. Seager is at 279 right now with 7 extra base hits. It's 4 home runs. Brian McCann is the cleanup man, and that rhymed, so that was pretty cool. But he is hitting 174. He does have 2 doubles, 2 triples for the big man, and 2 homers. Jake Lamb will be the third baseman, and yes, this is the 4th left-handed bat in a row. In the 5 spot, the third baseman, Jake Lamb, is 7 of 31 so far at the dish. Eddie Rosario makes it 5 straight lefties. He is out in left field today. 238 batting average with a triple and a homer. And then we get to the makeshift second baseman, Giovanni Urshela. No other second baseman carded on the bench for Chicago, so they are playing a man out of position here. And we'll see if those X chances cost him. Urshela, he is 5 for 28 at the plate in shared duty. The pitcher will hit in the 8th spot. Chicago going to the Tony De La Russa School of Order lineup. So Shelby Miller is in the 8th spot, the pitcher, and following him will be Leonis Martin, the center fielder. Martin is hitting 262 with a double, a triple, 2 homers, and he does have 7 stolen bases, which, let me look at the league leaders. 7 stolen bases? Nope. In the KL, you've got a bunch of guys up there. D. Gordon has 12, Blackman has 10, and DJ LeMahieu has 9. Those are the top 3. So, I believe we are ready to start rolling this thing out. The statistician is checking in. How you doing tonight? Welcome into the show. We have San Francisco and Chicago just about to get underway. Jordan Zimmerman to face the new leadoff man, Austin Jackson. It's a 3-3, and Austin Jackson showing some patience at the plate, and he draws a leadoff walk, and we are underway from San Francisco. Austin Jackson is on base at first. Let's take a look at the catcher for San Francisco. That will be the veteran Chris Iannetta, who's a +1 arm. So Austin Jackson is a C-stealer. They are going to have to hold him, however. So that'll be a 1-9 chance to steal. He's going to get a good lead, but he's not going anywhere. Joe Mauer is a B hit and run man. And with the runner being held, I think they're going to put on a hit and run. That'll move Joe Mauer to an A hit and runner. So they're going to hit and run. It's an A6. An A6 is a ground out to second, who is Javi Baez. And his only play is going to be to first with the man in motion. And so Austin Jackson moves to second on the ground out by Joe Mauer. But Mauer stays out of the double play. Jerry Ball is here. Chris Lamoth is here. And Mike McAllister is here. Welcome, fellas. Happy that you guys are popping in. I was just talking about Chris Lamoth and how it's really cool that he's just getting started in Strat and just so happened to show up here in this chat. And I hope that he has felt welcome and much appreciated that he is here. Kyle Seager now with a 1 out. The runner on second. And it's a 2-5. And this is a 1-8 single chance. It's going to be hit hard. And the second baseman, Javi Baez, is going to able to make a jumping stab and make the grab. So 2 down now. 2 down, and Brian McCann looking to drive that run home from second. It's a 4-11, and this will be a ballpark single chance. Here for the lefty, it's a 1-11, and we rolled a 12, so no such luck. And the leadoff walk doesn't come back to hurt Jordan Zimmerman as Brian McCann hits it sharply at Javi Baez, and he makes 3 plays to get him out of the inning. We're through the top of the first, and we are scoreless. So the pitcher for for Chicago will be Shelby Miller. And Shelby Miller has been impressive so far this season. In his 20 innings, he is 2-0. He's given up 14 hits, 6 earned runs in 20 innings, with 13 strikeouts and 8 walks. That's a 2.70 ERA and just a tad over 1 on the whip. And so this will be the lineup to face Shelby Miller for San Francisco. They are without their backup catcher, Tuffy Gozwich, today. So, as we saw, Chris Iannetta got the start. But we'll line up like this. Rajai Davis, he's hitting under 200 right now at 188. Although he does have 4 doubles and 3 triples. So he's a dangerous leadoff man, even without that average. Javi Baez is the second baseman and hitting in the 2 spot. 250 for him with 6 doubles and no homers yet. Giancarlo Stanton will be the third batter in the order today. He was hitting cleanup, but he moves up to the 3rd spot. He's hitting .320 with a league lead 7 home runs. Matt Duffy moves into the cleanup spot, the 3rd baseman. Duffy is hitting .291 with 5 extra base hits. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, is at .245, and he leads the squad with 10 RBI. Marwin Gonzalez is demoted down into the order. The switch-hitting first baseman is hitting 6th today. He's hitting a .183 with a pair of homers. Franklin Gutierrez is not hitting up to his card at the moment. His batting average is at 159 with only 1 extra base hit, and that's a double. If you look at his card, that's a .354 on base percentage, a .620 slugging with 15 home runs and 171 at-bats. Should be getting more out of that card, but it's just not happening. And Chris Iannetta is the catcher hitting in the 8th spot. Iannetta is hitting 105 on the season. That's 4 hits and 38 at-bats. And the pitcher is Jordan Zimmerman. He's a weak-hitting right-handed batter. So here we go, ready for the bottom of the first. Tuffy Gozwich. He is injured today, the Arizona State Sun Devil, as Jerry Ball. He's on Arizona guy watch. Mike McAllister says, "My game is the game of life," in response to the question of the day, your favorite non-sports board game. And Jerry says, "You mean there are other board games?" Well, that's true. I spend most of my time playing Strat-O-Matic, but I am an avid tabletop or board game player, as you would say. And Rajai Davis, the first batter to see the new pitcher, Shelby Miller. And Davis, just like Austin Jackson in the top half, draws a walk. Rajai Davis is a B stealer. The catcher, Brian McCann, has a -1 arm. So they are holding the runner. And it'll be Javier Baez. No play on the base paths, and this will be a double. Javi Baez drops one out into left field, and that'll be a double. There's no star on there, so we'll see if Davis, with no outs, gets the go sign. It was hit to left. The left fielder is Eddie Rosario, and I have a feeling that he's going to hold up. Rosario is a -3 arm, so with nobody out, he is going to pull up. And there is second and third with nobody out for Giancarlo Stanton. Is it too early to intentionally walk Giancarlo Stanton? Maybe. No, I mean, boy. Really, if you look at the lineup, would you want Matt Duffy to beat you, or do you want Giancarlo Stanton? I find it hard to believe they would intentionally walk him in the first inning. This is a tough decision already, but I'm going to let Shelby Miller pitch to him. He's going to be careful to him, but this might come back to bite us. It's a 5-8, and he lifts one out to left field. That's going to get a run home anyway. That's going to be deep enough. Rosario makes the catch but it's way too deep even for the strong arm. That'll be an out, and Rajai Davis tags up and will score. So they traded an out for a run, and San Francisco jumps out to a 1-0 lead here. Matt Duffy now with a runner on second. One out. Duffy sees the pitch. This one is lifted out to center, and the center fielder Martin will make the play. No advancement from Baez, and there's 2 away. So the team leader in RBI here, Jay Peralta, looking to drive in Baez from second, who doubled. And this is a 1-4, and not going to happen this time as Peralta hits one over to Lamb at third, and Lamb will make the strong throw over to first, and we are done with the first. But San Francisco takes a 1-0 lead on a sacrifice fly from the big man, Giancarlo Stanton. So we move to the top of the second. Chris Lamoth checking in and saying his favorite board game is cribbage. And it's funny because I love cribbage. I actually have an ongoing game. Well, not a game. We play like every once in a while. I play with a gal at work. At lunchtime, we'll play cribbage. I just keep my a board at work, and we'll break it out whenever we get a chance and play a little cribbage. That's a fun game. So it'll be Jake Lamb, Eddie Rosario, and Giovanni Urshela here in the top of the second to face Jordan Zimmerman, and this one is hit out to center field. A lazy fly ball for Rajai Davis, and he casually trots over to it and will make the catch. Eddie Rosario now, the lefty. Rosario of 5-6, and Rosario gets caught looking on a pitch down in the strike zone, but it counts nonetheless, and there's 2 away. So Urshela, the makeshift second baseman today, will face Jordan Zimmerman, and he pops one up, and it's behind the catcher, behind the dish, and there will be room for Iannetta, and that'll be a weak top of the second for the offense. A 1-2-3 inning, and Chicago continues to be scoreless. So Shelby Miller will get a chance again to face Gonzalez, Gutierrez, and Iannetta. Miller gave up only 1 hit, but it was a double from Baez, and he trails 1-0. Gonzalez, though, sees the pitch, and he pokes a single up the middle, and the leadoff man is on aboard again. The reason why I bring up the board games is because I think I said it last night that I've bought like 4 or 5 board games in the last week or two, and I've just been waiting patiently, going like this, checking the app of all the delivery systems to see if it would show up, and one of them finally showed up today, and I spent the evening teaching my 8-year-old and playing a game, so that's why it's on my mind. On San Francisco's mind is that Marwin Gonzalez is on first, and Franklin Gutierrez is at the plate to face Shelby Miller. It's a 3-8, and so Gutierrez swings right through that pitch and strikes out. There's 1 away. That 3 column for Gutierrez is not very good. Lots of strikeouts. And so Chris Iannetta, with 1 out, looking to stay out of the double play. Marwin Gonzalez is a D stealer, so not a lot we can do here. The pitcher coming up next. It's a 6-6, and this one could be a single. It's a 60% chance, a 1-12, and it's hit to the third baseman, and that is Lamb. Gonzalez has good speed, and he's going to beat it out at second, so the only play for Lamb at third is to go and get the catcher at first, which he will do. And there is 2 outs. And we have the pitcher up, Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman, not a great hitter. He's using the number 2 card. This is a 210, and a 210 is a walk. So he draws a walk out of that. And with 2 outs, Shelby Miller has got to be kicking himself that he let the opposing pitcher walk on him. And it'll be Rajai Davis who drew a walk his first time, and he scored the lone run. It's a 6-8, and that will be a weak fly ball out to center. The center fielder has to run quickly in the shallow center field gap, but he will make the play. And there's 3 outs. So no harm done here in the bottom of the second. We move to the top of the third, and it's still a 1-0 ball game. Shelby Miller and Jordan Zimmerman living up to the hype here, pitching pretty well. And in the 8th spot, it will be Shelby Miller, the pitcher, up to face Jordan Zimmerman. So Zimmerman throws and fires to Miller, and that will be a single. Shelby Miller drops a single out into left field, kind of an excuse-me swing, and he plops one out just past the reach of the second baseman. And he found himself a single to lead off the inning. And now Leonis Martin, he will look at a strike down in the zone, and that will be a strikeout. So batting in the 9th spot was Martin, and he strikes out. And now it'll be back to the top of the order and Austin Jackson. This is a 3-7, which is a 1-10 single chance. It's a 9, and so Jackson pokes a single. So not a hard hit ball in the inning, but we got 2 men aboard here, both on kind of excuse-me base hits. Jackson and the pitcher, Shelby Miller, is at second. It'll be Joe Mauer now, who grounded out to Baez in the first inning. And the left-hander, he strikes out. That'll be 2 outs in the inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Zimmerman. And the 2nd out here in the top of the 3rd. And it'll be left up to Kyle Seager. Seager's 0 for 1. He hit one hard, but right at the second baseman, Baez. And this is a 5-8. And Seager's going to strike out. So Zimmerman goes and gets the high heat when he needs it. Got a little extra on that pitch, and Seager was caught chasing. And we are through the top of the 3rd, going to the bottom, and San Francisco's clinging to a 1-run lead here. Just getting underway in game day 16. We have reached the apex of the season, and we are now starting to creep down 30 game days. It's still a long way to go, and anything can happen in the standings. And Javi Baez is going to have himself another hit. He'll lead off the top of the 3rd against Shelby Miller. This is going to be a single. Baez is halfway to the cycle. A single and a double. Giancarlo Stanton now with traffic once again. Stanton sacrifice fly to score Rajai Davis back in the first inning. And here he will see a pitch, and he dribbles one to short. Seager's going to gut up with it quickly. Tosses it over to Urshela, playing a new position, but he makes the turn like a veteran and fires it to Mauer. That is a 6-4-3 double play. Just like they hadn't practiced that, have they? Because Urshela, not a second baseman, but you wouldn't have known it there. And Miller gets the double play ball from Giancarlo Stanton. So it'll be Matt Duffy now, who flew out to center field. And with the bases empty, he will swing and miss. That's the 2nd strikeout for Miller, and that will close the book here on the 3rd. We are a third of the way through this ball game, and it continues to be a 1-run game. And now Jordan Zimmerman will come out to face the 4, 5, 6 batters. All lefties of McCann, Lamb, and Rosario. 0 for 3 is that triplets today on the day. And they will get their second at bat here against the right-hander, Zimmerman. And McCann lifts one out to the center fielder. And Davis, tracking it down, will make the grab. Jake Lamb now. Lamb hit one about the same spot as McCann just did back in the second inning. And here he will face the righty again. And he hits one to left field this time. Gutierrez will make the play. And there's 2 away. These games go fast when the pitching is good. We're 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And it's a 2-7. And 3 fly balls, and this one's hit out to center field. All 3 caught, and Jordan Zimmerman has retired 5 in a row now as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Shelby Miller looking to keep pace with Jordan Zimmerman. Miller's already given up a run, though. And he'll have Peralta, Gonzalez, and Gutierrez to face here. In the bottom of the 4th, this is a 3-5, a 1-4 single chance, and it is a 4, so it scoots past the diving Lamb at third base and gets out into the outfield, and Peralta is aboard with the leadoff single. Lamb took one step and made a dive and almost had that ball. It just snuck past his glove and trickled out into left field. Marwin Gonzalez now. Johnny Peralta is an E-stealer. They're not holding him. Gonzalez has singled in his first at-bat, and he will face Miller here again, and this one is hit to first. Mauer is up with it quickly. Over to Seager at short, and over to the pitcher. That's a 3-6-1 double play. Shelby Miller broke hard and quickly for first base. He knew that he had a shot at that double play. And he's able to get one. And so the leadoff single is erased. And Franklin Gutierrez will be the batter. He struck out his last time. 6-3 will be a fly ball to right field. This is going to be an easy play for the right fielder, Austin Jackson. And he squeezes the glove. And we have reached the end of 4. It's still a 1-0 ball game. In the chat, I know that you guys are watching, and I appreciate that. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer watching games with lots of runs, or do you like seeing a game like this that's close? Maybe the pitchers are flying through things. What do you like to see on a strat game, not necessarily an actual baseball game? Urshela, the second baseman, will face Jordan Zimmerman here in the top of the 5th. It's a 5-11, and Urshela, he lifts one out to, what is that? That's left field. He yanks one, and will it get up and out of here? It's not a good ballpark to try and hit a home run. It's a 1-1 chance, and it's not going to happen. That was a 14. I got all excited until I looked over here, and I'm like, oh yeah, you only have one number, a 5% chance to hit a home run. And Urshela just hits it to the wrong part of the park. And that'll be a basic fly ball to Gutierrez. And so now it'll be the pitcher spot up. Shelby Miller, he singled his first time up, surprisingly. And it's a 2-9, and he just dribbles one weakly over to Joe Mauer at first base. Or excuse me, Marwin Gonzalez at first base. And he's just going to step on the bag, and there'll be 2 outs. So we've got a few answers coming in here as far as the pace of play and what they prefer to see. Jerry Ball says good pitching and defense always. Statistician says I like to see dominant pitching performance followed by a complete and epic meltdown. Well, we could have that here. We could. Leonis Martin with 2 outs. He struck out his first time. It's a 3/8. This one's hit hard, but right at the second baseman, Baez. Seems like he's been a magnet for those types of plays today. And that'll end the top of the 5th. And no score for Chicago as they continue to trail by a run as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And if you're at the bottom of your 5th, then go fill it up and have a sip for me. As Shelby Miller will trot back out to the mound to face the 8, 9, and 1 batters of Chris Iannetta, Jordan Zimmerman, the pitcher, and Rajai Davis. If you're in the chat, Chris Lamoth is looking for a little advice. He's still working at the kinks of learning Strat. And what is the easiest way to set up a small season? Any of you veteran players out there have some advice for Chris Lamoth? This is a 2-5 for Chris Iannetta against Shelby Miller, and that 2 column for Iannetta is pretty much all strikeouts, and so that's what we get here. A swing and a miss, the 3rd strikeout for Miller on the day, and there's 1 out. Jordan Zimmerman, he drew a walk his only time up to the plate, and this time he's gonna strike out. So back-to-back strikeouts here to start the bottom of the 5th off for Shelby Miller. And ever since the first inning, he's had guys on base, but he's also gotten 2 double play balls, and that's gotten him out of a few innings. And this will be back to the top of the order. This is Rajai Davis, and he draws another walk with a 6-2. A 2-out walk. Davis, a beast dealer. McCann has got a pretty good arm, so actually, I thought he was a -3. He's a -1. With 2 outs, they're not going to hold Davis, so it would be a 1-13 chance, a -1, a 1-12 chance if Davis was going to try and steal here. He's not, because Javi Baez is 2 for 2 on the day. So the pitch to Baez, it's a 5-11. That's a fly ball right field X chance. I think this might be our first X chance of the ball game here in the 5th. And the right fielder is Austin Jackson, who's a 3 range, a 3-7. And that's right on the edge of his range, and he has to stretch to make a catch, and he will do so. And that's the only way that Javi Baez is going to get out today, on a diving catch from Austin Jackson out in right field. And that will retire the side. So Austin Jackson, the injury replacement for the injured Yasiel Puig, makes a sparkling catch out in right. And he will be the 3rd out as we move to the top of the 6th, and Jordan Zimmerman comes back out onto the mound. So, Chris, I see that people have been giving you some advice. I guess it depends on what you mean by a short season, because when I initially started this league, I thought 28 games, that's not very much. But then I decided I was going to do all 30 teams, and it turns out that I was already a couple weeks into the season. I'm like, let me see how many games this will actually be. And I calculated it out, and it turned out to be 420. So even in a 30 game day, 28 game season, that's a lot of games. So I guess it depends on how short you want it to be, Chris. We turn it over to the 3rd time through the lineup, and Austin Jackson will face Jordan Zimmerman. Jackson just made that fancy catch out in right. He's 1 for 1 with the walk. And here he is. It's a single poked out to right. So back-to-back hits for Austin Jackson. And he's aboard again for the 3rd time now. And Zimmerman will face Joe Mauer. Mauer, he advanced the runner in the 1st inning on a hit and run and then struck out. He's not going to be playing any kind of fancy ball here and just swinging away. And maybe we should have, because this was hit to the first baseman, Gonzalez, who's going to turn the double play. It's a 1-6-3 double play. Or excuse me, a 3-6-3 double play. I thought about hitting and running again to stay out of the double play, but didn't do it. And Joe Mauer lets us down with a 3-6-3 double play. Now it's Kyle Seager with the bases empty. And a 4-5 is a strikeout. So the second time that Seager has gone down looking. That's the 5th strikeout on the day for Zimmerman. And the leadoff single goes for naught. And Zimmerman's through the 6th. As we move to the bottom half, it's still a 1-0 ball game. Chicago, their bats need to wake up. Shelby Miller will have the leadoff man, Giancarlo Stanton. He's responsible for the only run batted in today. And this is a pretty low-scoring game, something that San Francisco is used to. They've only scored 39 runs on the season. They have a -17 run differential. That's not very good. Chicago, on the other hand, they've scored a pretty moderate amount of runs, 58 on the season, and they've only given up 45. That's a +13 in the run differential category, which is tied for second in all of the KL. Ken Castro checking in. Got a close game here in the bottom of the 6th. Giancarlo Stanton, he's up here to face Shelby Miller for the 3rd time. This is a 4-11, which is going to be hit out to left field. Rosario's going to have to make a nice play because this is hit pretty hard. Rosario is on his horse trying to make the catch. He's a left fielder too, and he's not. It's going to get past him and run to the wall, and Stanton will be able to stand up at second with a double. So Stanton reaches on a leadoff double. Yes, Chris, he's asking me, 420 games? Yeah, my season that I'm doing here, what I'm calling it the RNL, is a 420 game season for all the teams combined. I'll be playing 420, yeah. I've been off a lot more than I thought I was going to, but I'm having fun with it, and I don't see any reason why to not do it, so might as well. Matt Duffy now, nobody out. He's 0 for 2. Giancarlo Stanton is at second. It's a 4-3. This is a bouncer to first base, and that'll be Joe Mauer. Mauer, the former catcher, is a 3-range first baseman. A 3-19 is going to be a good play, and no runner is forced, and so Giancarlo Stanton will have to stay at second. So a 3-1, and that'll be the first out here. So Johnny Peralta, the team leader in RBI, is up. 1 out, Stanton at second. San Francisco looking for another run, an insurance run here. And one is hit to third. The third baseman, Lamb, snags it, and he looks back Stanton to second once again. Makes the strong throw across the diamond, and there's 2 away. So it'll be left up to Marwin Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2 today. He's got a single, and he grounded into a double play. So Shelby Miller looking to get out of this thing after a leadoff double. And he'll have to face the switch hitter stepping in from the left-hand side, and he loses him. That's going to be a walk. So pitching a little cautiously to Gonzalez, and he loses him off the line. And now it'll be Franklin Gutierrez, who's 0 for 2 against Shelby Miller. And Gutierrez, his pretty terrible average on the season is getting even worse. So 0 for 2, and Shelby Miller with the pitch. This is a 2-9, and oh, we just missed a homer. Gutierrez thought he had it, but hit no baseball. He strikes out. he blinked and thought he hit it, but it was ended up in the catcher's glove. And that'll be the 5th strikeout for Shelby Miller, and he's out of the 6th without giving up another run. It's a 1-0 ball game as we go to the top of the 7th. Yeah, Jerry, I am using all 30 teams, so 28 games for all 30 teams. I thought about doing one league, but when I randomized it, actually that was kind of the initial plan of this, was to do just the NL or the KL in this version. But when I randomized the teams, I was like, well, I'm going to lose half of these players, and these teams are already randomized, so I might as well do the whole thing. So I went ahead and did it, and here we are in the top of the 7th. Chicago trailing San Francisco 1-0. They've got the 4, 5, 6 batters up against Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman with another strikeout. This one against Brian McCann. That's 6 on the day for Zimmerman, and we have 1 out here. It'll be Jake Lamb to face him. He's 0 for 2 on the day. A 4-8. This will be a single plopped out to right field. So Jake Lamb has his first hit of the ball game. And maybe some of the sheen is coming off of Zimmerman's armor here in the 7th. We'll see if Eddie Rosario can do anything about it. 1 on, 1 out. Rosario at the plate. It's a 5-5, and he draws a walk. So perhaps a little foreshadowing by saying the luster is gone on the armor. There's 2 on now. 1 out. And Urshela is the batter. Let's take a look at the bench. We've got Nolan Rymald, Josh Fegley, Jason Castro, and Mike Alt. You got the pitcher, his spot up next with 2 on, 1 out. Looking for the double play ball here. Urshela is not a particularly fast runner, so they're playing with the infield back. It'll be a 1-8, and a 1-8 is a single out to left field. Lamb is going to pick up the third base coach. Will he get the sign to run? We'll have to check. The left fielder is Gutierrez, who's a -1 arm. Lamb was not being held. He's a 1-13 runner. So that'll be a 1-14. Is there 2 outs? No. -1 is a 1-13 chance that he would score on the single from Urshela. With 1 out, will they send him? The pitcher spot. No, they're not going to send him. He holds up, and the bases are now loaded for the pitcher spot. And will they? Let's see. Yeah, they're going to have to pinch hit. Shelby Miller's been pitching pretty all right, but this is the fun of the KL where the pitcher hits. He's going to have to hit, and they will pinch hit with Jason Castro. So Shelby Miller exits the ball game. He was 1 for 2 with the bat, and the lefty Jason Castro comes up to pinch hit here in the 7th. Castro, let's see, does he have any hits on the season for Chicago? Castro is 1 for 3 in his limited appearances. Most of them have been, I think all of them have been pinch hits. So here he goes. Castro, bases, they're going to bring the infield in, looking to keep that run off the board. Infield is in. It's a 4-2. A 4-2. This one's hit deep. This one could be a grand slam. Castro, the pinch hit. He's got to roll a 1. Oh, a 5% chance to hit a grand slam. And it's a 12. That ball is hit to right field. But that's going to be enough to score the runner. That's a sac fly out to right. A deep fly ball, and Stanton is not even going to have a throw to home. So that'll tie the ball game up from a pinch hit from Jason Castro. And Zimmerman gives up the lead here in the 7th. It's a tie ball game. And now it'll be Leonys Martin, the 9th man in the order, with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. And they're going to let Zimmerman pitch here. He has reached his pitcher inning of weakness with a combination of 3 hits or walks. So he is weak right now. But they're going to let him try and get out of this inning. It's a 4-7, and what's going to happen as Leonys Martin pops a single out into center field. Rosario's going to score. Urshela will move to third, and Martin from the 9th spot makes the manager look like a genius by playing him there. And that'll plate another run, and Zimmerman gives up the lead now. And oh boy, the decision to leave him in may not sit well with the San Francisco supporters, especially with a pretty good bullpen. And they're going to have to go to it. That's going to be Josh Fields. So Josh Fields will come in the game to take over for Zimmerman. And actually, we may double switch here. Let me check. I've got... I wish we had a left. Oh, you know what? I can do that. So we're gonna double switch here, as Josh Fields will come on, and Franklin Gutierrez will come out of the ball game. So Gutierrez is off. He will be the pitcher spot, and the new pitcher will be Josh Fields, and the new left fielder will be Grady Sizemore, the lefty. All right, double switch has been made, and Josh Fields will come into the ball game. Let me write down his name. Zimmerman, he goes 6 2/3 before he hits the wall. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He struck out 6 batters, and how many did he walk? 1, 2 batters. He can't get the win here as he gave up the lead. Shelby Miller is on the positive side, though. Miller could get the win, as he was pinch hit for, and they took the lead. Al Red Sox fan, and Higher Ground Gaming, welcome in, everybody. Happy to see you here. I had my head down doing a double switch, and I look up, and the chat is rolling with some new folks here. Happy that you guys have popped in. So Fields to face Austin Jackson. Jackson has reached all 3 times he's been at the plate. 2 singles and a walk, but he's going to strike out this time, and Fields does his job and gets San Francisco off the field, but not before they take a 2-1 lead, as we are at the stretch, and our all-time singer Mike McAllister will lead us in the 7th inning stretch song. Shelby Miller has been replaced in the ball game, so we need to go find a new pitcher. And in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Cody Allen. The bullpen lines up pretty well now for Chicago as they go Cody Allen, Deline Betances, and Kenley Jansen, 7, 8, 9. It'll be tough for San Francisco to come climbing back against those guys. But it'll be a task they have to try. Shelby Miller went 6. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Only 1 run. Struck out 5, and he walked 1, 2, 3, 4 batters. He's in line for the victory. The book is closed on Zimmerman. He gave up both of those runs. And we move on now after McAllister sang for us. It'll be Cody Allen to face Chris Iannetta. Iannetta, it's a 5-7, and Iannetta stands there with his bat on his shoulder, and he strikes out. Second time on the day for Iannetta that he struck out. And that'll be Grady Sizemore, who came in the double switch. The lefty Sizemore with his first appearance here. And this is a 4-10. And a floor 10 is a center field X chance. Martin is a 2-range center fielder. A 211 is going to his E rating, though, which is pretty good. He's an E2. So an E2 with a 7 is going to be a tough play that's made easy by the fleet-footed Leonis Martin. And there's 2 away. And so now it'll be Rajai Davis for the 4th time in the ball game. He's walked a pair of times, and he's flown out to center field. And Al Red Sox fan is finishing up singing here. For it's 1, 2, 3. And everybody give Al Red Sox fan a nice round of applause. All right, Rajai Davis, 2 outs here, nobody on, against Cody Allen here in the bottom of the 7th. And Davis pops a single through the left side and out into left field. And he's aboard with 2 outs for Javier Baez. Javier Baez is 2 for 3, a single and a double. And with 1 out, Davis at second. Davis is a bee stealer. I keep saying that because I'm tempted to steal. With 2 outs and a 1-run lead, they're going to have to hold him. So it'll be a 1-10 and a 1-9 with the catcher's arm. Would Davis steal on a 1-9 to try and get to second? I don't think he can. Baez is hit pretty well, and then you got Stanton behind him. So as much as I really want to, even though it's a 1-9, I'm going to be cautious and not do it. But a 4-9, and it's a good thing we didn't because Javi Baez pokes one out to right field, and that'll be a single. Davis off with a pitch, and he's at third, standing up. So Baez keeps the inning rolling, and with 2 outs, it'll be Giancarlo Stanton with 2 on to face Cody Allen. Now, will they get Cody Allen here? He's given up 2 hits already, back-to-back hits. They've got Betances in the bullpen. I think they are going to make the move. Even though Allen is their 8th inning guy, Betances is the better pitcher, and they got to go get him. So Betances will come in to face Stanton. It's going to be power on power. And so Cody Allen is gone. And so the righty Betances comes on. Allen, he got 2 quick outs, but then hit a wall at the top of the order. He gave up 2 quick hits. He struck out 1 and didn't walk anybody. And now the big man, Betances, to face the other big man. A lot of beef out there in the middle of the field. Betances and Stanton. Who's going to win this matchup? This should be a good one. 2 on. Stanton sees the pitch, and he hits it right back to Betances, and he will snag it and underhand it over to first, anticlimactically, and that'll end the bottom of the 7th. But 2 runs were out there on the bases for Stanton, and he can't drive them home. And so San Francisco will trail 2-1 going into the top of the 8th. Fields, who got out of the the top of the 7th, got out of that jam. He will continue here. Actually, you know what? With all these lefties coming up, we are going to go to the lefty, and that will be Andrew McKirahan. So I was going to continue, but I saw that there are 5 straight left-handers, and our 1 lefty out of the bullpen, McKirahan, will come on. Although he hasn't been all that great against lefties, we got to go for it. So McKirahan comes on. We got lots of pitching changes in the KL. And so Fields goes a third of an inning, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Joe Mauer will be first up. And he's 0 for 3 on the day. Against the lefty, this will be a single base hit. And as I mentioned, McKirahan has struggled against his southpaw kind, and he continues that with a leadoff single for Joe Mauer. And it'll be Kyle Seager, who's 0 for 3 on the day. And Seager, he singles. I don't know what it is about McKirahan. He just can't get out left-handers. And that's a single 2-star, so Mauer ends up on 3rd already. And I don't know what we got to do with McKirahan to get a lefty out, but now we got to start looking at other options. But he's the only lefty in the bullpen. And with Brian McCann up, another lefty. Nobody out. McCann is up. I guess they have to bring the infield in, even though McCann is a slow runner. They could trade a double play for a run, but at this point, they can't. So McCann, the infield is going to be in. It's a 1-5, and McCann strikes out. So that's helpful for McKirahan. The first strikeout for him. And now it'll be Jake Lamb. Lamb is 1 for 3 on the day. And his day is going to be over, as he's going to get pinch hit for with Mike Oltz. So they're matching up here, righty-lefty. Knowing that there's no other lefties in the bullpen, Mike Oltz comes in to pinch hit, and he'll continue at 3rd base. So McKirahan has to stay in. He's got Rosario behind him. Mike Oltz makes his first appearance. It's a 1-3, and this one is hit back to the pitcher, and this is going to get him out of it. A 1-3 will be a back to the pitcher. McKirahan wheels and goes 1-4-3 for the double play. So just what he needed, and gets him out of the inning. What a pitch. Mike Oltz disappoints after pinch hitting. And it's still 2-1. San Francisco has a chance here. Betances will come back out. Al Red Sox fan, it's the 7th inning, and so he's hitting the hay. But I appreciate him being here, and as he said, make sure and give a thumbs up. So Betances will face Duffy, Peralta, and Gonzalez. Getting close here. Running out of outs is San Francisco. They're down to their last 6. Matt Duffy looking to not make one here against Betances. And all that black ink, and he hits one out to short. Seager's going to gobble it up and toss it to first. Peralta with 1 out against Betances. Anything on Betances' card is not good for the batter. And just like this, it's going to be a strikeout. So 2 away. And it'll be Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the lefty, and this is on Betances' card, but that's a third base X chance. He's got a shot here to keep this thing rolling. It's going to be up to the new third baseman, Mike Oltz, and isn't that how it always works? The ball finds you, doesn't it? Oltz is a 3 third baseman. A 312 will be his E rating, which is not good. It's a E35, and we rolled a 12. So that's going to be an error on Oltz. He kicks the ball around at third, and the pinch hitter grounded into a double play to end the inning, and now kicks the ball around out in the outfield, and that is a rough call by the manager to bring Oltz in. Not doing his job on either side. Higher Ground Gaming, checking out. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Chris Iannetta now. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. This is the pitcher's spot. So the pitcher's spot is up. And we're going to go with Alex Rios. So Alex Rios, the righty, will pinch hit here in the 8th. And Rios, with 2 outs, has a man on first who reached on an error. And this is a 4-6. A 4-6 is going to be a strikeout. So Rios gets caught looking, and that will end the 8th inning here. San Francisco's down to their final 3 outs, and I have to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back to conclude this thing as we move to the top of the 9th. Don't go away. It's a 1-run ball game. All right, we are back. Sorry for the rain delay. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Let me get set up back here. And so Delene Betances gets out of the 8th. We move to the top of the 9th. And it was Eddie Rosario, wasn't it? We pinch hit for McKirahan, so he's got to come out. And so Rosario, the lefty, will... There's no more lefties in the bench, or in the bullpen. So we're going to have to go to... We're going to go to Matt Albers. If I can find his card. There it is. So Matt Albers comes out of the bullpen. And he will face Rosario, Urshela, and most likely a pinch hitter. So Rosario to face Albers. Let me get McKirahan's numbers. McKirahan, he went 1 inning. He gave up 2 hits. Got that big double play ball. Didn't give up any runs. He struck out 1 and didn't walk anybody. So here, Albers will face Eddie Rosario. And Rosario against the righty. This is a 2-5, and he pops a single through the left field side. And Rosario is aboard. A 2-1 ball game here, and the leadoff man is aboard for Chicago, looking to add a little insurance. Chicago, they were off in the last game, game day 15. They've won a pair in a row, 2 in a row now, looking to make it 3 in a row and to keep up with St. Louis and Atlanta ahead of them in the standings. Urshela, he's 1 for 3 on the day. Not a great bunter, not a great hit and runner, so not a whole lot we can do. It's a 5-5, and he's going to get caught looking anyway. So the first strikeout for Albers, and there's 1 out. It'll be Jason Castro. Actually, no, he already pinched hit. So we got to find a new pinch hitter here. And will it be either Nolan Reimold or Josh Flegley? They're going to get Reimold. So Nolan Reimold will come out to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th. And he will face Matt Albers with a man on first. Rosario, let's take a look. He's a B stealer, so they hold him. So that'll be a 1-10. If you add the catcher's arm, that's a +1 for Iannetta. So a 1-11 that he would steal. He's not going to do it, but Reimold sees the pitch against Albers. And maybe he should have, because he bounces one weakly to short. Peralta's up with it quickly, wheels and fires to Baez. Baez to Gonzalez, and it's a double play. 6-4-3. Been real timid to steal bases tonight, and it's cost me a couple different times. So we are down to the last chance for San Francisco. And it will be the closer, Kenley Jansen. And good luck, San Francisco. You should have scored on your chances before. And it will be Jansen. So, Cody Allen, the book was closed on him. I didn't finish it. He didn't give up any runs. The righty, Kenley Jansen, comes out. And in the randomization, Chicago won the bullpen lottery with Cody Allen, Delian Betances, and Kenley Jansen. Betances goes 1 1/3. He doesn't give up any runs, no hits, struck out 2, and didn't walk anybody. And here comes the big man, Jansen. And would we pinch hit with Chris Iannetta? I don't think we can, because I don't have a backup catcher on San Francisco right now because Tuffy Gozwich is hurt. So if we ended up tying it, we'd be hosed out in the outfield. So Iannetta is going to have to hit for himself. He's 0 for 3 on the day. And it won't get any easier here against against Jansen. Oh, but this one has a double chance, a 1-6, and Iannetta will throw a double out there. And wouldn't you know it, it was a 4. I got all excited and messed the die up. But Chris Iannetta leads the game, leads the bottom of the 9th off with a double against Kenley Jansen. So here we go. This might be the epic meltdown that, who was it? Who was looking for the epic meltdown? Was it Higher Ground Gaming or was it somebody else? I can't remember. Now here we go. Grady Sizemore came in on the double switch, and he will be at the plate with Ionetta at second. The lefty Sizemore, would they lay a bunt down? Would they try and do anything fancy here? No, they're going to let Sizemore just have a hack at it. Kenley Jansen, the man, the closer. It's a 2-9, and he gets Grady Sizemore to whiff. So 1 out. They got 2 more hacks at it. The statistician, that's who said it. I'm sorry. Rajai Davis now, he's been on base 3 times. He's got a chance to tie it up here against Kenley Jansen. Davis, this is good for him on this card. This will be a single to left field. No stars. Ionetta is a slow runner out there at second. Will they try it? Ionetta is a 1-10 runner. A 1-10. It was hit out to left field. That is Eddie Rosario, who's got a big arm, a -3. So, even though Ionetta is slow as molasses, they were holding him to try and keep him close. So it would be a 1-10, which is -1, a 1-9, -3, a 1-6. A 1-6, they can't send him. So Rajai Davis, he singles, but Ionetta is slow and can't score from second. And that would be Javi Baez. The infield, it's got to come in here. Javier Baez is pretty quick, so the infield will be in. Davis is at first on a single. Ionetta doubled to lead off the inning here in the bottom of the 9th. Jansen is on the mound. He is not going anywhere. The bullpen is very quiet. Javier Baez is 3 for 4 on the day with 3 singles. And they will pitch to him. It's a 6-9, and a 6-9 is a walk. So perhaps the intentional walk. And now the bases are juiced. We are at 2-1. Chicago leading in the bottom of the 9th. San Francisco's at bat. Bases are loaded. Ionetta at third. Rajai Davis at second. And Javi Baez just walked to load the bases for Giancarlo Stanton. And the third baseman, Mike Olt, is, as he's being called to bring the infield in, he makes the sign of the cross as he's going to be standing less than 90 feet away from a mountain of a man, Giancarlo Stanton. Just hoping he doesn't get smoked by a hot shot down the line. The infield is in. Giancarlo Stanton. There's nowhere to put him, and nobody else in the bullpen, so this will be it. Stanton with 1 out. Infield's in. It's a 6-8, and it's a 6-7, and so that will be a strikeout. So Stanton can't keep up with the high heat, and that is 2 gone. And now it'll be up to Matt Duffy. Stanton has disappointed on a couple of occasions where he could have had some big hits, and he is struck out now, and it'll be up to Matt Duffy. Will Duffy get the chance? The only other people on the bench are Alexi Amarista from the left-hand side, and then Christopher Negron and Brandon Drury from the right-hand side. So Matt Duffy will get his chance here with 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, bases loaded. Matt Duffy, he sees the pitch. It's a 1-7, and that's a single. Matt Duffy with the 2-star single. Ionetta's going to score. Rajai Davis rounds third, and he will score. And this ball game is tied. Matt Duffy comes up with the big hit. A single out to center field, and Iannetta scored easily. And the cleanup hitter does just that and cleans it up. And we are tied at 3 apiece. Can you believe it that Kenley Jansen gives up the single, and we are tied? Meltdown complete for the statistician. He called it. Props to you, my friend. And it's not over yet, as now the leading RBI man on San Francisco will come to the plate. There's 2 outs. Will they have to go get Kenley Jansen? I never remember this situation. So let's see who we could bring in. Mike Lowe or Scott Oberg or Casey Fine. I think we're going to stick with Jansen. Well, Johnny Peralta has a chance to be a hero here. 3-3 now. Bottom of the 9th. And Peralta, he sees the pitch and he will strike out. And that'll end it here. But not before Jansen, he makes... he gave up 2 runs in the 9th. And we are going to extras, everybody. And now, my discussion amongst myself about pulling Chris Iannetta, I'm certainly glad I didn't, because we would have been stuck without a catcher. And that would have been, actually, it would have been kind of funny to see what I would have done. But we move to the top of the 10th. I got to catch my breath here for a second. That was crazy. And will it be Matt Albers? Yeah, Albers is rated for a couple of innings, so he's going to come back out here to pitch. The problem for San Francisco is they don't have any lefties in the bullpen anymore, so it may be a little dicey. So it will be Matt Albers here to face the 9-1-2 batters of Martin, Jackson, and Mauer. And against the righty, Leonis Martin, that is a 1-15 single, and it's a 7, so he leads off the bottom of the, the top of the 10th with a single. So Martin is aboard. Austin Jackson now, who's 2 for 3 on the day, but Martin is a threat to steal. As I've mentioned before, Chris Iannetta is a +1 behind the plate. So Martin is an A stealer. They got to hold him. It'll be a 1-15. With him being held, it'll be a 1-13. It'll pop back up to a 1-14 with Iannetta's arm. And Martin is looking, he's dancing out there, stretching his lead, getting a step as Albers works from the stretch. Looks over. And Martin is going to go a 1-14, and he makes it, and he steals that base. Iannetta can't do anything as he tosses it, but Martin was way under the tag. And now Martin making something happen as he steals second with nobody out. And Austin Jackson will be the man at the plate. And now there's 3 chances to bring that run home. Leonis Martin is eyeing third. It'd be a 1-10. They have to hold him. So it'd be a 1-8, a 1-9 to steal third. He's not going to do it. And so Austin Jackson will hit here. It's a 5-9. And Matt Albers get Austin Jackson to strike out. Caught him looking at a pitch that he thought was down, but he gets the call. And Austin Jackson will be the second strikeout victim of Matt Albers. So I guess it worked like a sacrifice. Leonis Martin stole, and the out was made anyway. And now it'll be Joe Mauer, who's 1 for 4 on the day. And would they get a different pitcher? Somebody with better splits against lefties. We've got Jumbo Diaz in the bullpen that we, I guess, technically could go to. he does have a better splits. He's more of a strikeout pitcher. So, yeah, we are going to get Albers. It looked like he was fading a little bit. And so Jumbo Diaz will come out to start facing the lefties. So Albers' day is done. And the righty, Jumbo Diaz, will come on. Albers went 1 1/3. He gave up 2 hits. Still responsible for Martin out there. He struck out 2 and didn't walk anybody. But his day is over, and now Jumbo Diaz will take over to face Mauer. 1 out. A runner on second. And Mauer to face Diaz. It's a 5-7, and that'll be a strikeout. So Diaz comes in and gets a strikeout. And there's 2 away. The live chat is hyped right now. This has been a good game. And it comes down to Kyle Seager. 2 outs. Martin on second. Speedy runner, so anything and he's going to score pretty much. And Seager draws a walk. So runner on first and second. The batter will be Brian McCann. McCann is 0 for 4 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Could we pinch hit? We could. Josh Flegley is the backup catcher, but he's the only guy we got left on the bench. So not going to do that. And it'll be Brian McCann with a 2-7, and he draws a walk. So nothing like a little drama here in the 10th as McCann pushes Seager to second. And that'll push Martin 90 feet away from scoring. A pass ball, a wild pitch, anything on that catcher's X card, and Martin could score. And now it'll be Mike Olt, who had a inauspicious start to his appearance. He pinch hit for Jake Lamb and just proceeded to ground into a double play to end the inning. And then the very next half inning, he committed an error. Well, here he is. He can make up for it. Mike Olt with the bases loaded. 2 walks and a single in the inning to load him. Jumbo Diaz. It's a 2-6, and Olt is going to commit the ultimate sin and strike out. The second one for Diaz, and he gets out of this mess. And we move to the bottom of the 10th. So no runs scored for Chicago. And we move to the bottom of the 10th. And Jansen is going to get yanked here. Jansen just didn't have it tonight. And so they're going to go to Mark Lowe. Diaz gets some big high fives as he enters the dugout. And the righty Mark Lowe will come on for Chicago. Jansen, he went the full inning. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, all of them earned. He struck out, well, he struck out the side, didn't he? But not before he also walked 1. And now Mark Lowe will face Gonzalez, a pinch hitter, and then Chris Iannetta again. Gonzalez is 1 for 3 today. And he's also drawn a walk. Here he is, a lefty, as he's a switch hitter. And he's going to lead off the 10th here with a single. So another base hit here in extra innings, and Gonzalez is aboard. A pinch hitter will come out. It will be it's going to be Alexi Amarista as the pinch hitter. Alexi Amarista is going to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 10th. The little ninja. handles the bat well, and he will pinch hit. He's a B hit and run. They're going to have to bring the infield in. Expecting the bunt, they're going to bring the infield in. He's a C bunter. I'm inclined to just hit and run with the infield in. He's a B hit and runner. That would make it an A hit and run. I feel like we could get more done. Jerry wants me to bunt it, but I'm feeling aggressive. San Francisco's got new life. They came back on Kenley Jansen. So the infield's in, and we're going to hit and run. The pitch, it's a 3, an A3, a single. Amarista pops it through the field with the infield in, and that'll be a single, and Gonzalez will end up at third. So the little ninja, Alexi Amarista, with a big-time hit there. And it's first and third with nobody out. And that man again, Chris Iannetta, at the plate. Now what do? I think you got to intentionally walk Iannetta. Although you don't want to see Grady Sizemore. But Iannetta is pretty... you know what? They're just going to bring the infield in. They have to. They can't go for the double play yet. And so Iannetta is going to bat with the infield in. Mark Lowe will be the pitcher. Infield in. Chris Iannetta has a chance to be a hero. He started the ninth off with a double, so could be doubly so. This is a 3-6. And that one is a ground ball, third base A. The infield is in. And so, let me check here. A ground ball, third base A. The runner on third holds. And the double play is going to not be in order. As with the infield in, Iannetta is going to be out on the throw from Mike Oltz. Amarista moves to second. And now, there's one away. The double play is no longer in order. And Grady Sizemore is the batter. Jerry Ball says, nice call, don't listen to me. So Sizemore's up. And here is, I think, where we would probably intentionally walk Sizemore. And although Davis is a really good runner, darn it. Would you try and get Davis to get a double play? Or would you go after Sizemore? We're going to intentionally walk Sizemore. We're going to go righty-righty matchup. So they put Sizemore aboard. And Rajai Davis will be the hitter. The infield is back, looking to try and get a double play to get out of this thing. And so Davis with a 2-10. This is a ballpark single chance. A 1-5, and it'll be a single, and the game will be over. It's an 11, so it's hit hard right at the shortstop, and Seager able to save it from going to the outfield, and now there's 2 away. So it'll be up to Javier Baez. The infield is back to regular depth. Don't have to play with the defense anymore. Javi Baez has 3 hits on the day and 4 chances. He's also got a walk. A hit or a walk would do it here and end the game. Mark Lowe playing with fire. Javi Baez, it's a 1. That's a good column for him. A 1-10. That's a single out into left field. Javi Baez wins it for San Francisco with a single. Marwin Gonzalez trots home from third. And the hero, as everybody goes and swarms Javi Baez as he gets tackled out just past first base. And the run is scored, and this is the ball game. Javier Baez with a walk-off hit. And whew, that was fun. So San Francisco comes back with 3 runs in the 9th and 10th inning after they gave up the lead in the 7th. And that was a fun one here in game day 16. The statistician got what he wanted, a meltdown in the 9th and an extra innings win. Jerry Ball says, wow, what a good game. Statistician says, awesome, good game. And I got to catch my breath here for a second. Jumbo Diaz. Jumbo Diaz will get the win. He went 2/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs. He struck out a pair and he walked a pair. He gets the win. A jumbo win, and Javi. Nice one, Craig, says Ken Castro. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. I see there's quite a few people here watching, and this was a long one, about an hour and a half, extra inning game. I took a little break in the middle of it, and you guys have been awesome to stick with me. Before you get out of here, make sure you leave a like, hit the like button before you exit out. I would much appreciate that. Tell a friend that I'm the late show here, as I'm doing these games after Al Red Sox fan and late on the East Coast. So if you're inclined to stay up and know somebody else that would like to watch this too, let them know that I'm here and that I exist and that this is fun. And I don't have a lot more to say. This has been a fun game. Follow me on Twitter. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up. The Statistician, Jerry Ball, Ken Castro, Chris Lamoth was here, Higher Ground Gaming was here, Al Red Sox fan was here, and anybody else that I miss? Mike McAllister was here also early. Man, this was fun. This one will go down as one of my favorite games that I've played in this season. So thank you for being a part of it and being a part of this league. Until next time, have a good one.